Escape from Tarkov is a very dangerous, sometimes terrifying, and very, very complicated, realistic shooter, looter, survival game. There is no offering of a tutorial system or a guide within the game, and without friends who have already played the game or watching Tarkov streamers or YouTubers or beginners guides, it's quite difficult to figure out how to navigate the inventories, how to set yourself up with a kit, and how to get things rolling. And welcome back for episode 2 of our Beginner's Guide series. In this episode, we talk about armor, different classes, how to identify the durability points, the material, and the coverage areas, and how to best select the armor and gear for your different playstyles and your different levels.
What? You won me!
So when you're getting ready to go into a raid and you're gearing up, armor is going to be one of the most important pieces of gear that you take with you, probably equally or maybe even more important than your choice of weapon. This piece of gear right here, the 6B5-16, the Yuli armored rig, you can purchase this immediately from Ragman level 1, and this is definitely going to be your preferred go-to piece of gear from probably levels 1 to 12, 13, 14, unless you want to buy gear off the flea market once you hit level 10. Now, when choosing armor, there are a couple of things that you need to consider. There's the durability, the armor class, the coverage areas, and the destructibility. So, meaning how many shots it can take before you're going to run out of armor points altogether. Let's take a look at a few different options for armor. Now, we've seen P.A.K.A. armor already from our last video, but to quickly go over this again, it has 50 armor points. The more armor points you have, the better off you are. However, this is only class 2, so as we discussed before, really much past a pistol caliber or maybe some buckshot, whatever you're getting hit with is going to go straight through this vest, and it'll really prove to be rather ineffective. On this vest, though, you can see the armor areas are thorax and stomach. Another armor vest, the Kirasa N. This is a great early piece of gear. It's got 70 armor points, and it's armor class 3. The only drawback here is it's made from combined materials. It's not the best for repair. It's definitely not the worst, but you're not going to be able to run this too many times before it really runs out of armor points and overall durability. And this one again, thorax and stomach, so pretty similar to the P.A.K.A. vest. Here's a class 4 vest. The 6B13 is really common. You can find it on scavs all the time. Relatively cheap from Ragman once you level him up. And you've got 47 armor points. That's alright. Armor class 4, great. The real problem with these is it's made from ceramic, so it's going to break down really quickly, and it repairs really, really terribly. So this is like a 1, maybe 2 raid kind of vest. You shouldn't expect to get much more out of it than that. Same thing for the Killa armor. However, we've gone up a class, and we get a lot more armor points. Typically these start with 60. This one's been repaired a few times. So we've only got a total of 49 available armor points left. Class 5, ultra lightweight polyethylene, so this repairs really, really well, especially as compared to ceramic. So again, these are the things you want to consider when choosing your armor vest. You know, armor points, armor class, and the material that it's made out of, which is going to determine how well you can repair it and how quickly it's going to break down. So this particular armor here, the Kilovest, can take a lot of abuse before it breaks down and needs to be sold off to fence. We've got a hex grid plate carrier right here. This is I guess the younger brother to the Slick, which pretty much everybody knows what a Slick is. The hex grid came in with this most recent wipe. This was a new armor that was brought in, and it's this is a great piece of armor. It's got 50 armor points. It only covers your thorax, which we can discuss sort of the finer points of what you want to cover later. But this one covers only your thorax, which is the most important piece of your body. It's armor class 6, which means there's not a lot of ammunition that's going to penetrate through this. This will stand up to pretty much everything, except for your ridiculously overpowered sniper cartridges and things of that nature. This one's also made of ultra lightweight polyethylene, so it repairs really well, and it's hard to break it down. Here's an armor vest that's quite a lot like the Zabralo. This is the IOTV Gen 4 full protection, so this covers both of your arms and your thorax and your stomach. This is, however, made out of Titan, which isn't the best. It does repair kind of poorly, and it breaks down. Overall, breaks down pretty quickly. It is class 5, however, so it's gonna block a lot of your damage, and it does start out fresh with 95 armor points, which is pretty high durability. This is definitely going to be good protection. But again, it's made out of Titan though, so you're going to get less use out of it than something, say, made out of ultra lightweight polyethylene or armor steel. And while we've been talking a bit about the materials that these are made out of, let's take a look at the chart. So here we are on the official Escape from Tarkov wiki. I will include this link in the description of this video. This website is great for answering any questions that you have about Tarkov, you know, from questing to what kind of armor should I wear, what kind of bullets should I use. So let's take a look at the destructibility. So from the top down, you have the best to worst destructibility, meaning from aramid and ultra lightweight polyethylene, combined materials, Titan, those are the least destructible materials. As you go down further, aluminum, steel, ceramic, and glass, these take the most damage the most quickly, right? However, armor steel does repair exceptionally well. This ultra lightweight polyethylene repairs very well, where combined materials and Titan really repair poorly. So these are things to consider when you're choosing your armor. Now, what else is about it? You can also choose to run armored rigs, which are basically combo devices, so they work as your tactical vest, as well as they have armor points in them. So this is a TacTech plate carrier. This is probably my favorite piece of gear in the game. You start with 50 armor points when it's fresh, and you can see here how we have container size added to the stats. So that shows you this actually is for holding magazines and heals, nades, whatever else. This is actually here to serve as your tactical rig and also carries armor plates. The TacTech is class 5. It's made from ultra lightweight polyethylene, and it's a really solid piece of gear. There are other combo rigs just like this. You've got the 6B3TM, which is affectionately referred to by a vast majority of the community as the rat rig. So you have class 4 armor, 40 points. Typically, you want to go with higher durability. That's at least my recommendation. I don't like running things with less than 50 durability, but in a pinch or on a budget, this is a great piece of gear. Another great combo rig is the TTV rig, the Vortec TV110. This is my second favorite piece of gear in the game. It's a huge tactical rig, basically the same size as like an ABS. This plate carrier though is only class 4. Still, class 4 is pretty great. I run class 4 most of the time, class 5 as much as I can. And this one's got 85 armor points to start. It's made of armored steel, so it repairs really, really, really well. However, it does break down a little bit quicker than, say, something made out of Titan or made out of ultra-high weight polyethylene. So, and perhaps the last thing on your list that you should be considering when choosing your gear is going to be the weight and the debuffs on movement. So a big giant piece of armor like this, you're changing your movement speed 33%. That means you can only run at 2/3 speed compared to, say, the Hex Grid, which really only covers your thorax and it is lightweight. You're only losing 8% movement speed. So in terms of movement, the Hex Grid is far superior to, say, the Gen 4 Full or even the Gen 4 Assault, which is still thorax, stomach, and arms. So keep that in mind as you're choosing your gear as well. And then on top of that, the weight. So this is a big, heavy piece of armor. I'm sitting at 23 kegs before I even have a gun in my hands. Alright, I think that'll do it for us today. Thank you for hanging out and watching. I hope that this has been helpful. Stay tuned for my healing explanation in our next video. We're going to talk about heals and when and how to use them. Be excellent to each other.